Guys, okay, sorry about that. My last video cut off. I ran out of storage. I put out 3 parts on Message from Spirit, talking about paying attention and how narcissists and toxic people and even spiritual ops, I haven't gotten into that yet, will try and scramble your signal, scramble your brain, do anything they can do to throw you off course, keep you distracted, keep your energy working for them, whatever the case, okay? As usual, like I tell you guys, my videos are just for educational purposes, just spreading awareness. And where I left off in that third part, I believe it was called Message from Spirit, I was talking about how the narcissistic people can't commit, how they have no consistency, how we can build into something and grow with it and continue finding something exciting to, continue, because we have emotional depth. They don't, and so unlike the narcissist, we can't, it's very hard for us, we normal people, to just jump from thing to thing to thing, person to person to person. We can't just love you overnight. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed. It's because the narcissist is like that. They're not loving people. They're not courting people, not for any of the right reasons or intentions whatsoever. What they're doing is what they do with everything, treating a human being like an instant gratification. That's all they're out for. They have a snapshot in their head. This is what I want. I'm completely obsessed. Yes, this is the one for me. And in that moment, they really believe it. They really believe that they love you. They believe that you're the love of their life. You're going to take all that pain away. You're going to be the end all be all. I'm obsessed. Yes or no, yes or no. One day I'm going to put out a video about how much pressure I was put under. And that's another thing to watch for. Persistence or obsession. A lot of times we get a little thrown off and think somebody persistent, that's a good quality. Use your judgment. Be able to discern from what is persistence and what is fucking red flag obsession. Okay? But, yeah. Narcissists can't, they're not like us. They don't want to take their time and build into a relationship slowly, each new layer, getting to know more and more, feeling more deeply and more deeply and more deeply and more deeply as time goes on, loving even more and even more connected to their partner. No. And see, that's what I did, even up until the bitter end. I was continuing to grow in love for this human and find reasons to continue loving him after all he had done. I kept finding reasons to love him and to want to make it work with him, even though I couldn't let him all the way back in. It was too unsafe. It just, yeah. But, that's what I did while he was being the typical textbook classic out there looking around for new supply, desperate, trying to control me by throwing things in my face, drugs and alcohol, doing nothing to work on his path, nothing to work on himself, nothing to make me feel safer about wanting him back full time. Very bad deal. But yeah, they're different than us, guys. Yeah. They can love you overnight, quote love, and they can unlove you overnight. Just like that. Oh, they'll still have feelings for you as far as, damn, I hate it she got away. I don't want anyone else to have that person, he or she. I don't want anyone else to have them. I don't want them to go get good things in life without me. I want them under my control. Damn, I have to accept what I'm stuck with. This secondary supply. Shit, I thought it was going to work and it backfired. Here I am stuck with this. I thought it was going to make that one come back. That's what they do, okay? I'll tell you guys all about it in a video coming up. But yeah, they're just game players. They have no emotional depth, and they're not there for the reasons you think they are. So that's what I was talking about when the last video cut off. is how we do have the ability to do that, and it hurts us really bad when we find out that they don't. That in the end, when they discard you, they will sell you out painfully. They are cruel, cold, snake-like creatures. Don't ever let it fool you. Don't ever, ever. You have to watch that guard around these types. But guys, people will come to steal your abundance. I just want to pass this on to you, okay? Not only, I've been listening to a lot of other great channels lately. I take in a lot of knowledge and information daily to try to keep myself in high spirits and high frequency. And also because I've been living it. I have been living this. I have had to go through this. And so that's why it's so heavily on my spirit to pass this along. Because I'm sitting in it right now. And I'm actually having to rebuild myself from letting people do that to my energy, my time, and my mind. So they will come in and steal your abundance, even from afar, even if you cut them off. The narcissists, the toxic people, life in general. Is it just me? I just feel weird, like these spiritual ops. I just feel like they're everywhere. I feel like even in the littlest of shit that's trying to hinder you. I mean, we don't want to get too carried away with it, but you know, it's that funny little shit throughout the day, like when you go to make your video, the damn phone locks up, or somebody comes by, or all these little interferences throughout the day when you really are what they call a chosen one. I don't use that term a whole lot. But when you really are a person that is really working on some things, creativity of any kind, whether you're going to produce a song or a poem or a movie or a film, you're going to put some light out into the world, you're going to make some content, speak to the public, you're going to design something, whatever it is, that requires, okay, there's that energy I'm talking about, that requires a beautiful energy. It's coming from soul. That is coming from source, okay? That is God, basically, the God source. Whatever you want to call it. That is love. That is, all of that is transmuting. It's translating through you into something beautiful to give to the world. That is a very high, powerful energy. And I do believe that the ops, the spiritual ops, are everywhere and trying to stop people like that at all costs. To interrupt that shit and harvest that energy. Because if you stop and you get pissed and you get frustrated, then you don't get your creative project done. You're not in your high frequency anymore. You're in that other damn frequency. It has harvested part of your energy. Whatever it was that came in to do that to you. The narcissist is the same way. They harvest energy. They have to have it. They can't get it on their own. They're like vampires. And they refuse to go learn how to get it on their own. So they will come in and do the same thing. I used to wonder, why? Why does this person that I'm loving and giving and giving and giving to, I know he's an alcoholic, I know they can be assholes, I know he's got some troubles, but I'm taking care of this man as a woman. I'm loving him. I'm feeding him. I'm being there for him. I'm affectionate to him. I'm giving him a little space when needed and affection when needed and hitting the balances and listening to him and attentive and all of these things and very loyal. All these fucking things, you know, just hitting the balances. And I used to like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Why on earth does he deliberately go out of his way to hurt me, to confuse me, to play games with me, torment me, get me wrapped up in hours and hours of arguments and dumb conversations that go nowhere, and constantly stalk me throughout the house? You know, drunk people have a tendency to do that, but this one was over the top. I mean, he had He could not stand for me to be focused on anything. Nothing. If he found out that he used to make comments to the effect of, oh, I guess you're working on your YouTube channel. This is long after we had to physically separate, and he lived in his own space and I lived in mine. But I still loved him very much. Just because I put some distance between us, it didn't mean that I wasn't giving him a chance. I, again, am not pathological. I'm not out here preying on people. I can't just snap out of love for a human being that I've grown to love so deeply just because they have to live somewhere else. This is where the narcissist has it all fucked up. It's because they use people, not love them. I still loved this human being. I'm sick of the way the narcissists want to argue about it too. Bullshit. You were loved, period. And your ass needed to stay away out of my space until you could have some honor and dignity about the way you treated me, until you could respect and act decent to me and mind your manners. That's just the way it was. Now, if you wanted to go off the deep end about that and be stubborn and not attend to that, then that was that, and that was going to be the end of us, which it was. But choices were given. Free will was there. The love was here. I did my part. I did all I was going to do. Don't let me lose my point. But yeah, they're not in it for the long haul, guys. That's where I was. We keep loving long after that relationship ends. Our heart. But we know when we've been abused and when we've been involved with a narcissist, we know we have to outgrow that love. We have to change it to a different type of love. And some of us, in order to protect ourselves, we feel anger, we feel hatred, we feel they'll finally do something that'll make you fall completely, So it's kind of like this weird feeling when you're all the way done with the discard, when they do their final hideous move on you, like they all do. They all pull out the big guns at the end, and they do a final disgusting, hideous thing where you finally go, oh my God, I cannot believe I was ever even attracted to this thing. They will finally get you there. Oh yeah. But if you loved someone truly, you will still have trouble. You will mourn. You will mourn the loss of that. That's human. And I know a lot of us are trying to move on and protect our energy and go, I'm not sad. I'm tough. I don't care about that narcissist. And we know they're with somebody new, and that's killing us. That hurts. And so we don't want to show it. We want to, toughen up and act like we don't care. And there's just so much of that shit going on that we all need to get real with ourselves. We need to be able to be vulnerable. We need to be able to show our emotions in order to work through that shit. And I know it's tough, okay? But yeah, the narcissist isn't like us. They don't understand. They expect us to be just like them, move through fucking emotions like that. We can't do that. We have to take our time, process things very, very deeply, feel things very, very deeply, take our time getting in with that person, and even on the way out, even if it's bad, we don't stop loving that person. We're not like them. We don't get on dating sites the next day and go, well, I better find, narcissists do that before you're even gone. That's what they spend all their time doing. It's such a shitty experience to have. Beautiful people, beautiful-hearted people, golden people like that, people who are here to do their work, to be good to others, to learn and grow, admit their fucking mistakes. Fuck, we know we're not perfect. People like that don't deserve to lick our fucking feet. They just don't. They don't deserve to be in the same airspace as you. They just don't. Okay? I don't care what happened to them. Anybody that's deliberately that cruel and fuck-brained and given a gift by God, many of them are gifted by God. They have people sent to their life to love them. People sent to take their hand and say, hey, come with me. come with me. I'll show you. I'll show you the way out of the matrix. I'll help you work through it. But they want to be cowards. They want to remain back in the shadows. They are gifted from God a lot of the time, and they have free will. And most of the time they choose to spit on their blessings, spit on the gift from God. I felt it. I saw it a lot, the demonic forces, especially with the alcoholism. And I saw it a lot of the time that this person was bound, just bound. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that, it was painful for me, but I'm thankful that I'm here right now and that I can heal and continue working on myself. I have a lot to repair. I've lost a lot. I'm scared. But I know that I can trust my spirit team, my guardian angels. I know that I'm divinely protected. And so we just have to go forward from there, guys. But yeah, like I'm saying, if you're in a situation like that, it is important for you to feel your emotions and not have to pretend all the time. That's what screws with our head so much, because the narcissist forced us to pretend all the time. We couldn't have our real, authentic emotions around that emotional bully. So when we get away from them, we want to be able to have our real emotions. We want to be able to grieve and cry and tell what happened and account for every damn detail of it and validate what happened to us. But at the same time, we don't want to stay in that energy too long. And we have all these things going on in our head. I know, I feel you. If you've just gotten out of a situation like that or whatever, been through that, I feel you. You don't want them to know that you're feeling sad and broken, because it never did any good. Your pain actually made them happy. That's the thing. So you have all this damage in your brain, conflicting thoughts to deal with when you get out of it. I know. If you cry and you grieve and you mourn, you know that it fell on deaf ears. It fell on a cruel, cold, heartless person who didn't hear you, who didn't care, who spit on you when you were like that. Yet they expected all the compassion and all the mercy and all the heart. So you're kind of damaged that way for a little bit, like, oh God, I shouldn't show that. I better toughen up and act like that I'm not grieving. But that's unhealthy. You have to grieve this. You have to mourn what happened to you. You have to mourn what you lost. But then there'll be another thought where you're like, I don't even want to admit that I ever loved that person. God, I don't even want to have that thought. But you have to let your heart mourn. You did love that person. They hurt you very badly. You did love them very much, and you did not deserve what they did to you. So I get the conflicting emotions. You don't want to feel this because that, and you don't want to feel this because that, and you need to... But please, know that it's human. Know that even though that person wrecked you, abused you, tried to trample your brain, they wanted to ruin your goals, your dreams. All they wanted to do was suck you down, and in the end, they probably discarded you in a horrible way or forced you away. And they went right to someone else to target and lock onto them to try and make you come back or hoover you back or use that person for whatever they want to use them for. And they probably did all these horrible, heartless things that you couldn't believe that your person, your heart, your one, that you couldn't believe that they would actually do to you, that they could be capable of doing. That probably happened to a lot of you. Okay? So, it's okay. You loved them. Even if they did you that terribly, you have to admit to yourself, you loved them very much. You felt that, okay? So, make sure you're doing the grief work in your own time when it's comfortable with people you can trust, that it's safe to let that out, how much you loved them. And how grief-stricken you really are. I know it's hard to be that vulnerable. I know it's hard to admit that's such a horrible person that you felt that way about them. And you don't want to be laughed at. You don't want to be picked at and mocked. I understand, okay? But in your own time, please be at one, because remember, you don't want to be like them. You don't want to be like them. You want to be able to keep out of the trauma brain as much as possible. You want to be able to have your clear thoughts, clear emotions, know what things are. You want to be able to hear spirit. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that you feel your authentic emotions, okay? I know it's hard. I know you want to, no, I don't want to feel that. It's too painful for me to feel that. I know. I do it all the time. Hush! I'm just saying, when you're comfortable enough to do it, don't forget. Be tough as long as you need to. Hey, if that's what gets you up out of bed, if that's what keeps you going every day, do it as long as you need to. But always come back and try to deal with that pain that you have to store up and harden your heart for a minute to get by. I understand that very well. But you don't want to be like them. They never deal with their emotions. They have hardened their heart permanently. They can never be vulnerable. They can never be authentic and real like you can. So go ahead and cry. Go ahead. It's okay. Let them get their fucking laughs. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Because it is not vengeance we're after. We won't have to take vengeance. They're miserable people, okay? And you're not. And you don't have to be. You don't have to stay that way. You're free. You are free and beautiful to pursue your dreams and goals. And you do not have to be tied down to that anymore. You don't have to be treated that way anymore. Okay? So, don't dwell there. I'm not saying get in your emotions and dwell there. I'm just saying try to find a balance if you can. Be authentic to what you're really feeling, because the narcissist stole that from you. And you don't want to end up like them. You don't want to be trauma brain forever. Do what you think is best for you, okay? But, have a balance with it. Just remember, if you stay in a negative energy too long, that's why I have to really catch myself. In the middle of the day, when I start feeling too depressed, or, oh God, it starts setting in on me, that I lost this person and how I lost them and what they did, and anger starts coming up and these negative, okay, I give that its moment. I don't deny it. That's healthy. But then I go ahead and I try to transmute that into something more healthy and more powerful when I can. Because you don't want to stay there too long, because you're blocking your own abundance. That energy, okay? That's just what the narcissist wants. So it's to me, it's a delicate balance. You need to feel some of it to be true to yourself. To stay right with spirit and to be true to yourself, you need to allow yourself, hush! You need to allow yourself to feel some of that. But at the exact same time, balance it out and don't allow yourself to drown in it. Because that's what the narcissist wants. They have energetic ties going out like beams, like beacons, okay? Especially right after the discard. If you have cut them off and gone no contact, oh, you better believe they have beacons of energy coming at you all the time. Whatever. And they may have other people in on it as well. Their new supply, their new target, their friends, their family, what have you. That's a lot of fucking negative energy. Okay? That's why you need to protect yourself, banish that, return to cinders, and, stay in your work. But that's all I'm saying is feel your emotions because it's healthy for you, but don't stay there too long. Don't drown in it, because that is letting the narcissist win. That's where I was making a mistake. I couldn't get out. I was feeling it so much that I couldn't get out because I was so determined not to be fake because of what they tried to make me be. So I was being so authentic with myself that it was so sad, but it was drowning me. So I had to find a balance. You get what I'm saying? Because I started to figure out, oh shit, I'm being so real and experiencing this pain so much and facing it so much that it's blocking my abundance. It's blocking my blessings. I'm in such a negative state. I can't get out. My brain isn't clear. I haven't been at full power. I haven't been at full motivation. I haven't been able to hear spirit. I've been too focused on this. Okay? Put a stop to their ass. Balance it out and get on up out of there and get on to your blessings. Get on to your abundance. Cut those fucking unseen energy ties that they still are trying to have bound to you. That's over. That is over. That is blocked. Never to be seen again. Tough. They should have thought about it when they were going out of their way to run you in the ground. Out of their way to deliberately hurt you. Out of their way thinking they were going to find somebody instantly to replace you that was as good as you, that loved them as much as you did. You know what I'm saying? They were so busy doing their little drugs and alcohol and thinking that they're pissing you off and thinking that they're pulling you back under control. Mine had the nerve to say to me, just say the word and all this can go away. Because, you know, he was wanting to come back where I live. And I wasn't letting him because he was an alcoholic and had started doing drugs. And had put me through all hell. I had lost everything because of dealing with him. So, no, he was supposed to be working on himself and proving some things to me. You put out some energy for me now. I put out enough energy, okay? And it's so funny how the narcissist can judge us, but we can't judge them. This man have a driver's license, didn't have a fucking car, couldn't really do shit for me. Yet I loved him, and I was very devoted to him for years. But he wanted me to keep on. He wanted to come lay in my place, drunk, with his feet up 24/7, being catered to, treating me like a servant. And he wanted me to keep coming and running even when he moved. I need to be the servant. I need to come. I need to come. I need to be his taxi cab. Drop everything when he's sick. All that energy. No. I finally had to cut that off because I listen to my higher power. I don't listen to him. I listened to him for long enough and it got me run in the ground. So that's what I'm here to reinforce again, full circle. Listen to your spirit. Listen to your spirit guides, your spirit team, your higher power when it comes down to that. And I had to make that choice. I had to start backing off. No more energy. You show me something. And I knew I was going to see his true colors come out at that time. I put it off as long as I could because I knew how painful it was going to be. Okay? So, that's pretty much it on this one, guys. It's getting a little bit long. I'm going to have to go ahead and cut it off. But, you know, that's pretty much what I wanted to get out there to you guys. Do listen to your own spirit, no matter how painful. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in God, your higher power, that it's going to lead you through on to better things. Don't let these people scramble you up and have you all over the place, because most of the time they're just sucking up your time and energy. And let me tell you something, when you fall and when you have not achieved your abundance and they've taken you off course and you're hurting and miserable and broken and starving, they're going to be right off to the next skirt or the next dude. They're fun and you're not. You have to work too much. That's what mine had the nerve to tell me. After years and years of service and devotion to his sick ass, being in the hospitals all the time, sick all the time, after years and years of me having to devote my time and energy to him, he had the nerve to tell me that at the tail end, since I wouldn't let him continue living with me and he needed to get up and prove his self to me. Prove that you love me. Put some energy into this. You've been doing nothing but running me in the ground for years. Yeah, but since I wouldn't let him continue to dominate and run me into the ground, yeah, that was his attitude. Well, I don't want to come hang out with you. I just want a shower and a bed. I don't want to come hang out with you. She's more fun anyway. I mean, that's all he cared about. He was a very low vibrational alcoholic addict that basically wanted to have me sitting in a room 24/7, either lying down in the bed or just sitting there, babysitting him drunk all day. That's no fun. I mean, I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. The audacity that some of these narcissists have, the judgment they put on us, right? When it's they who are no fun. It's they who are miserable. Sorry, it's just the way it is. But hey, that's that. All I'm concerned with now is rebuilding my life. Because it was shattered. It was absolutely shattered. I still cannot believe that such a thing actually happened to me. But it did. And I'm going to have to do the best I can from here. All right, guys. So I'll be back with more soon. Thank you for watching. And keep having faith in yourself. Disconnect those energy wires, those energy cords with all of that mess and the narc and the spiritual ops. Protect yourself. Stay focused. Listen to your spirit. Pay attention, okay? I'll be back soon, guys. Thanks for watching.